a mystic, after many years of denying this, I can finally embrace my rightful path. The word mystic means spiritual, pertaining to mysteries of faith, from Old French mystique, mysterious, full of mystery, or directly from the Latin mysticus, mystical, mystic of secret rites. A mystical person is someone who walks a rare path on earth, at least in today's world, who lives somewhere in between the physical and spiritual world in consciousness. They are not necessarily witches or wizards, but can be if they so choose. A mystic is someone who believes it is possible to obtain and seeks for a union with the divine in order to experience connection to all things while on earth in body still. You don't force yourself into becoming a mystic, you are called to it or born as one. Elves and fairies are what is known as mystical creatures. They are able to see beyond the physical five senses and understand the energetic world of nature around them. They also experience oneness with the divine, being at such high vibratory states as part of the fairy realms. Also, there are many life forms around the universe that live life in this way, and even whole societies filled of mystics as alien beings who run society on a different set of laws and priorities. There are many mystical religious paths you can belong to, or you can simply walk your own path without a label. Here are some signs you may be one and may not even realize it. Number 1. You have never believed in a God far outside the self, but you do believe in a higher power above your own identity and others on earth. You have searched for ways to align your earthly ego with the prime source of all things, through books, teachers, meditation, spiritual prayer and practices, and even magic. You believe in your heart and have achieved experiencing many different times in your life this oneness with the all. This is called a mystical experience. You may have tried many different religions, not discarding any, but gathering more information into your essence to achieve more oneness with everything. Number 2. You are drawn to the mystical, the mysterious, the unseen worlds and realms. This includes an interest in myths, legends, and learning about other worlds like the fairy realms or other higher dimensions off of Earth. You also may enjoy learning about the quantum world and the realms of consciousness through science. Earthly things are not as interesting to you as unearthly ideas and things that cannot be seen, but felt on a very deep level. Even as an adult, you find you enjoy fantasy entertainment like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, very much so, because it confirms many of your inner visions. Number 3. Your third eye has been open as a child, and you've had visions and seen things that cannot be shown to others. Fairies, ghosts, aliens, mythical creatures, and lights and energy that cannot be explained you have been able to see. You may have even questioned your own sanity even at one point. It is very hard to find anyone to believe in you, and this has been a struggle in your own life. You have had to learn to be your own confidant and keep things secret unless you truly know a person to not mock or laugh at you. Number 4. You are not scared easily. Maybe as a child you were, but when you grow up in your adult mystic self, you are never really afraid of some of the things that others might be. Darkness even does not scare you, and even being alone does not either. You truly feel protected from a very deep place that comes from your understanding about the spirit and energetic world that you can see. You are not afraid of death because of this inner knowing nothing ever really dies. Number 5. You find yourself drawn to mystics of the past and their teachings about life and feeling a deep understanding with them. Some well-known mystics are Edgar Cayce, Rumi, Joan of Arc, Helena Blavatsky, Aleister Crowley, Gregory Rasputin, William Butler Yeats, Alan Moore, Gandhi, Alan Watts, Rudolf Steiner, and J.R.R. Tolkien, our beloved Catholic mystic himself. You may not agree with all mystics of the past, but you can understand where they are coming from. Number 6. You feel very lonely much of the time. This is because of your experience where you have one foot in this world and the other foot in another world. This straddling of two planes can cause you to feel disconnected to Earth and to people. Part of the reason is you were not born on Earth to make friends and become the most popular person. You came to bring information from the unseen world to Earth to lift others out of the material world. Making friends is a possibility and a byproduct of meeting kindred spirits along the way. You actually love being alone, though. It allows you time to explore more about this union with the divine that you have searched for and have achieved. You cherish your solitude, but at times you crave connection. Number 7. You belong to any of these religions or label yourself as such: Gnostic or mystic Christian or Catholic, a Quaker, a New Age Christian or non-denominational Christian, a Merkaba mystic or a Kabbalah Jew, Sufi of Islam, Buddhist, Sikhism, Hinduism, or Taoism, as well as all forms of shamanism. Number 8. You have an array of psychic abilities and have one or more of these following: clairvoyant, the person who can clearly see non-physical realities or dimensions, surrounding energies, auras, physical, people's psychospheres, and also non-physical consciousness. Clairaudient, the person who can hear events occurring at long distance in the physical world and events occurring in non-physical dimensions. Clairsentient, the person who can feel the surrounding energies and non-physical consciousness. A remote viewer, the remote viewer can clearly see consciousness, places, and events happening at long distance, either in the physical dimension or in a non-physical dimension. A lucid projector, an astral traveler or skywalker, the person that leaves the physical body or soma sleeping in the physical dimension and explores with the psychosoma other physical or non-physical locations, thus gathering information that cannot usually be obtained during the waking state. Lucid dreamer. This person achieves control of dreams and becomes increasingly more lucid and can use the triggers of his or her lucid dreams to further increase lucidity and induce conscious dreaming and astral traveling. Precog. This person develops the capacity to gather information from a possible future. You are able to access information from the future because you can read into the possibilities and the energetic states of the consequences of the events that are going on in the present time and what may possibly lead to the outcome. A retrocognitor. This person acquires information from past lives or from the intervals between physical lives where the consciousness lived in a non-physical dimension at one point. Telepath. This person can read the information being transmitted mind to mind in physical or non-physical dimensions between two consciousnesses or more than two. Psychometrius. This person can actually read information contained in the energy of objects. When you hold an object, you get an idea about its backstory and its history, and also of the energy of the people that have touched that object before. An intuitive. This person can get an immediate, clear knowledge of things and grabs insights that escape the normal thought process and goes beyond reason and logic to discover inner and outer truths. Spirit writer. This person does psychic writing or automatic writing, being at the moment it happens, the instrument of the non-physical consciousness takes over the process of reasoning, and you can write from higher dimensions and reality that are not from your own mind or ego. Medium or channeler, a person that meditates and brings information from the non-physical dimensions to the physical dimension. Number 9. You may have been called strange or made fun of by others who rely more on their logic and sensory within only the 5 senses, because they cannot see what you can and don't understand your visions coming through the 6th sense. It is important to know this does not make you better or them better than you, just different, and a piece of the whole experiencing a different journey. Number 10. Your heart is open and very big. Sometimes you feel your heart can be the size of the whole universe and contain that much love inside. The reason is because your heart is the center of intuition. Science is discovering more and more the heart is not just a muscle, but a brain, and sensations are registered there as well. The intuition comes from beyond the mind, because the mind is still attached to your ego identity and daily thoughts. Your intuition is felt from the heart and is timeless and comes from a place in which it is not attached to your ego identity. Mystic hearts are very overworked because they live life from this very place. One of your life lessons is to learn how to balance the heart intuition center so you can actually live successfully in life. Number 11. You may have been diagnosed with some type of disorder and mental label. Many mystics were diagnosed as schizophrenics because they could hear voices others could not, or see visions that others could not see. Today, humanity is becoming a little bit more accepting of mystics and understanding their experiences than they did in the past. Number 12. Everyone can have a mystical experience because we are all from the prime source, but a mystic will have mystical experiences about 75 to 90% of their lifetimes, which makes it actually a thrilling but often difficult life to live. Always feeling and experiencing the other realms because that part of you is open and you are completely connected to the higher dimensions and spiritual realms. It can be very exhausting, but at the same time, it can be very exciting as well. And one of the things you should learn is how to balance yourself between this earth and the other worlds you live in order to keep a job, keep a home, have a family, and just do day-to-day basic things. Because you can get very lost in your heart and in your mind easily, being so attached to these other realms that cannot be seen. You need to work on your lower chakras and grounding because your higher chakras are usually already very open. It is the lower ones that you need help with maintaining. In another video, I will be making a healer for the mystic video coming soon. May all these signs bring more clarity to all mystics in the world and solace to know that you are not alone, that this is a very normal thing to feel and to experience in your life. If you are not a mystic and you just wanted to watch this video, I ask for you to keep an open mind before you dismiss things that I say. I understand that all of us experience life in different ways, and this is how the universe itself grows and expands by combining all forms of experiences and then reflecting on them. Hen and Lei for listening, and I will see you on the next video.